Back during the times when the Master was forcibly transforming humans into supermutants to build an army, quickly arose the need for specialized troops that could track down and capture humans without raising any suspicion. The nightkin were born out of this necessity, the most elite and loyal soldiers in the Master's supermutant army. They are the result of a few extra experiments on average supermutants, combined with years and years of constant stealth avoid use to avoid being seen. Though a severe and unexpected side effect that stealth voids had on supermutants was the gradual deterioration of their minds, causing many different mental conditions that develop among the nightkin, making them addicted to it and destroying the mental stability of even the smartest first-generation supermutants, besides giving them a more purple-ish tone to their skin. The nightkin were used to work in squads, following to a T the strict orders given to them by the Master's lieutenants, making the will of their leader a reality with the most brutal of efficiency. The role they had inside the army of supermutants gave each one of them a sense of purpose and a place to belong with a rigid structure in which their descent into madness didn't present a problem as long as they could follow orders. This dependency on the army for direction left the nightkin shaken and lost after the defeat on the Master and following the disbandment of the army of supermutants. A few managed to reintegrate and assimilate into the wider wasteland society despite many enduring prejudices, while others formed their own communities. But nightkin never exactly fitted in, even among their own species. Most still hold a deep hatred towards humans and loyalty to the Master, so much they cannot get over its defeat and spend countless years seeking a replacement to guide them, to take the role of leader that once gave them direction. Tabitha, a nightkin that used to be in command of her own squad while part of the army, just like many others tried to find a way to fill the void left by the Master. Tabitha and her companions spent a few decades roaming around California following the Master's defeat, occasionally helping some other supermutants in trouble, though mostly occupying her time scavenging for stealth voids and harassing humans without any clear plan or objective, like many other groups of nightkin. With time, a pattern began to emerge among these groups. Some took inanimate objects as their new master to follow, fueled by the poor state of their psyche. In case of Tabitha, when finding a Mr. Handy named Rhonda, she began hearing and following its advice, and seeing the robot as a friend that curbed her most violent instincts. Rhonda insisted that they should head east, towards the adventures that awaited them in the unknown, and because Tabitha decided to go, the rest of her nightkin companions followed. On the road, Rhonda picked up a transmission on her onboard radio that piqued their interest. From Black Mountain, in the Mojave Desert, a message was being broadcasted inviting all supermutants to join a peaceful community where all races were welcome and could live side by side. They decided to travel to the settlement, but on the way, Rhonda started malfunctioning and stopped working altogether shortly after arriving. Without Rhonda, Tabitha went back to being more erratic and openly violent. Black Mountain's leader, Marcus, told her she should write her thoughts down on a terminal and maybe that would help her vent and work through some of her anger. But it only managed to frustrate Tabitha. Eventually, paranoia ended up consuming her and began hallucinating enemies all around. Most of the population of the settlement were the not-so-smart second-generation supermutants, something that Tabitha took advantage to manipulate them into believing she was a prophet that could protect them from all threats and give them the purpose and direction that they once had under the Master, but only if she was in charge and able to use the radio to broadcast her words. The smarter first-generation supermutants, at the behest of Marcus, that quickly recognized the divide created by Tabitha could result in violence between supermutants, left for the mountains in the northwest in search for a place to settle and form a new community, leaving Black Mountain to Tabitha and her followers. Although, before leaving, they made sure to destroy the radio equipment so that couldn't be used to lure people into the settlement. With no opposition to worry about, Tabitha established her estate of Utobitha. Black Mountain was fortified with traps and checkpoints. Humans began being attacked on sight and their bodies fed to the pet centaurs. Blind and unquestioned following of orders was demanded under severe punishment for those who refused. While Tabitha herself, missing her robot friend, created in her mind a twisted version of Rhonda that encouraged her use of violence. Shortly after Black Mountain Radio went silent and stopped transmitting, a ghoul appeared in the settlement, Raul Tejada, offering a hand in repairing whatever was needed to get the radio station operational again. The ghoul had no trouble fixing the equipment. However, Tabitha recognized the value of having an experienced mechanic at her disposal, so she decided to imprison him and make him fix a variety of random scrap. Although never forced him to repair Rhonda, the one she created on her mind told her it wouldn't be necessary. With the radio station back on air and Tabitha broadcasting her propaganda to attract more supermutants to her domain, on top of the extreme hostility towards humans, Black Mountain became one of the most isolated places in the region, normally being avoided by most of the people of the Mojave.